Nothing don't escape the Mosai's radar. Nothing don't escape the Mosai's radar. I want to give our praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Charachakwadash, giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Shouts to all the sincere elect out there. Keep fighting, keep pushing. We're almost out of this bitch. In the new year now of agents, sellouts, and apostates. Apostates, agents, and sellouts. So the Mosai's, nothing don't escape the Mosai's radar, his eyes. His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So this is in the news. This was at the end of last month. Police at reservoir after light aircraft crash. And I'll get into some of this and fun of everything as we do through the scriptures. In the new year, it turned over with a bang. And there's a whole heap of distraction, a whole heap of things taking place on the surface in the mainstream, but there's a lot of things also going on behind the scenes, which is nothing behind the scenes to the Mosai, because it doesn't, nothing escapes the Mosai's radar, his eyes. So Essex police was called out shortly after 2 p.m. GMT on Sunday to report of the aircraft entering the water at Hanningham Field Reservoir near Chelmsford on Monday. The force said its officers remained on the scene of a serious incident because they haven't revealed who was on it. They're saying they don't know, but nah, I'm not buying that. They know, man. Yeah, it has not released any information about casualties. Flowers have been left on a fence at a reservoir. So it's a serious incident. We are still in early stages of our investigation and are working closely with the aircraft investigation branch, establishing what has happened, right? So there's a whole heap of things going on behind the scenes, right? Like you got they have trafficking, and there's all different types of trafficking. You got pedo trafficking. You got, I'm just speaking in as a man. You got organ trafficking, right? You got drugs trafficking, right? And it all happens behind the scenes. And who is in control of all of the trafficking? The devil. The devil is in control of it. Doesn't matter what they're saying about what's going on with Venezuela and the leader. They called him a T, and they were shooting up whole heap of boats, saying that they're trafficking, but they're in control of it. They're in control of trafficking, right? They're in control. They're the harbingers of the earth, the harbingers of death. They're in control of all the trafficking. Nothing don't go under their radar, right? They're literal radars that they control the skies with their helicopters, right? Because there's been a whole heap of deletions of helicopters, so-called aviation failures, helicopters, plane crashes, that the Most High, in the spirit of the Lord, they're in control of the air, and the Most High is in control of them. They're just puppets to the Most High. So this got licked down. This plane got licked down by, and let me just show you the video, and you decide.
Crashed after taking off in Essex. The Beechcraft B-200 aircraft crashed at about 4 p.m. on Sunday, soon after taking off from Southend Airport, and was seen in flames with dark smoke billowing from it, according to photos circulating on social media. Essex police said they were at the scene of a serious incident. A statement from the force said, "We were alerted shortly before 4 p.m. to reports of a collision involving one 12-meter plane. We are working with all emergency services at the scene now, and that work will be ongoing for several hours. We would please ask the public to avoid this area where possible while this work continues." Essex County Fire and Rescue Service said 4 crews, along with off-road vehicles, had attended the incident. The cause of the crash is not yet known. According to the flight tracking service Flight Radar 24, the plane took off at 3:48 p.m. and was bound for Lelystad, a city.
All right, so enough said with that. Let's see another video here. They've got the police out here. All right, because I like to cover it is mainstream, and there's things that be going on as well behind the scenes that they try to hide. Because I remember we heard what happened with video stalling for some reason. We heard what happened with the Swiss party when they mentioned it on the news, they said, "Oh, it was so unfortunate. 40 people deleted." They didn't mention there was a famous golfer that was deleted, right? Which was a surgical strike of the Most High, right? Famous golfer deleted. Some things they just have them as distractions, and they didn't mention that obviously the kind of party it was, right? The kind of party that they be doing with masks on, you know, Masonic parties, all kinds of parties, freaky parties. Let me just say that freaky parties be going on, which the Most High hit it with a surgical strike. You know what I mean? Playing around with all forms of candles, and they say them candles are very rare candles, which made the sparklers and the roof catch a light. Very rare candles. What was they doing? Anyway, so that took place. Oh, don't forget what happened in Atlanta with one of those. How am I gonna say? Them happy parties. This was a couple of years ago. Atlanta. I may pull it up at some point. I don't know. But it was quite a while ago, a couple of years ago. Atlanta party where it was about near enough 50 people. 50 chitty happy people got deleted. 50 rainbow people. Just under 50 people got deleted in that party. I think it was some man that walked in there with a gun armed and he just let rip. So happy parties, you know what I'm saying? Freaky parties. The Most I be his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Let's see if this video comes up.
A man's body has been recovered after a plane crashed into Hanningfield Reservoir. The private aircraft left Northfield Airfield just before midday on Sunday, December 28. It crashed into the reservoir near Chelmsford at around 2 p.m. The reservoir remains closed until further notice. A police investigation hasn't identified any suspicious circumstances, and a file's been prepared for the coroner.
Right, so nothing escapes their radar. They know who was on the plane, I believe, in the spirit, and obviously they got all the paperwork. They can't let people just fly, even though it was a private plane. Even though it was a private plane, small plane. Let me see what this woman says. They have the paperwork. This thing be happening a lot with helicopters, aviation crashes, Black Hawk helicopters. Right. Last year there was a lot of them that you can't cover all of them. A lot of them don't get put on mainstream. Who's in control of the air? The Most High. He's in control of the air. Let me hit a precept via his eyes. The chariots. Second, so this is Ecclesiastes or Sirach 23 and 9. It says, "Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most sacred parts." Taking into consideration, nobody gets deleted innocently. Job. Nobody don't get deleted innocently. They haven't found, they're saying they haven't recovered any bodies at this point. But there was something called the Bermuda Triangle, if you've heard of it. I've got some documentaries on it, and I watched the series. The planes be going missing and they'll never see them again. But who's in control? Man's going is of the Lord. The king's heart is in the Lord's hand. So Most High, he wants to just pick a plane out or a surgical strike and make it go missing. He can do that. But they can't escape the Most High's eyes. Right? They can't escape the Most High's eyes. Whatever type of trafficking that they're trying to be doing, going under the radar. Right? Let me hit that precept. And I'll come. Let me read this one. Psalms 7 and 11 says, "God judgeth the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day." He judgeth the righteous, but he brings surgical strikes in different forms, in the form of judgment on the wicked, because he's angry with them every day. And this is what this was, that they mentioned it once on the news, and you never heard them mention it again, because there's things that they have via their private planes, they do, that the Most High knows what they're doing. Right? With the Epstein files yet to come out, with Trump was involved in that. A lot of high profile entertainers and high important people getting into all of the powerful people that are on it, the Epstein files, that they're doing their best to bury it and not bring it out. But they used boats, private planes to do their shipping, the type of shipping what they do, beginning with the PP people, the pedo, all types of private things. And sometimes the Most High let them carry on so that he can judge them ultimately, or he might just intervene via the chariots, the lasers. Amos 9:8 says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom. He will destroy it from off the face of the earth." Right, that's the point. Saving that he will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. But the eyes of the Lord definitely upon this place, the wicked, the sinful kingdom. Right? That's why you be hearing about these judgments at the turn of the year 2026. He's ramping it up. And what one of the elders said from the central camp, I remember what he said, in the turn of the year of destruction, now 2026, the year of destruction, there's going to be a whole heap of celebrities, prominent people going to get judged. And it's not going to, it's going to be televised so that people will know. Then they will know that the Most High God is above all the earth when the celebrities get judged. The P Diddy thing, the P Diddler thing, the Fiddler Diddler, right, was just for everybody to take note a bit more, right? But we know he's a puppet anyway of the elites. He's just a puppet. He's a puppet, and there's people behind him that do much worse than that. But anyway, the Most High starts with he judges the house of the wicked. Judgment starts in the house of the Lord, and then ultimately he's saving the best to last, which are the Edomites. But every now and then the Most High give you a little, he hits them with a surgical strike. He brings a judgment in, because he's angry with the wicked every day. The eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, right? So I just wanted to highlight this one. Nothing escapes the Most High's radar. This is the title of this video. Nothing doesn't escape the Most High's radar. And they have radars. They have their radar screens that they see what goes on. They are well aware. And there's things they maybe they just don't want to bring it out and touch on it, because it's very sensitive to them. Sensitive information. Who was involved and what was taking place. 2 Chronicles 16:9 says, "For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong in behalf of them whose hearts are perfect toward him. Herein thou hast done foolishly, thereof from henceforth you shall have wars." So, yeah. The Most High's eyes of the Lord. That's the point I'm homing in on. He's running to and fro. The eyes, his chariots, run to and fro. Hence, we had them major crashes. Some of them it was publicized. A lot of them wasn't. Major crashes where aeroplanes, so-called aviation failures, and helicopters they crashed into each other. Who guided them to do that? Once again, the Most High is in control. His heart is in control of the king. Man's going is of the Lord. The point is, though, that the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole of the earth. Right? His eyes run to and fro throughout the whole of the earth. And his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Nothing escapes his notice. Right? Hence, these planes and all kinds of crashes would take place, and so-called aviation failures is the doing of the Lord. Right? Aviation failures is all the doing of the Lord. So, there you have it, Akim. Once again, nothing escapes the Most High's radar. The eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Right? We touched on it. Here's the point right there. Hence why these things are happening. Enough said. Right? Enough said. And they say it was a serious incident, which means they say it was a serious incident. Right? The police say the officers remain on the scene of a serious incident. So there's some classified information. They're not revealing, I believe, in the spirit. But they didn't escape the Most High's notice. He brought one of the eyes One of the lasers lick it down. That's what. That's what. Enough said on that. The one Yahweh Shimon Shine to the next one. Nothing escapes the Most High's eyes, his radar.